If you're over 55 and planning to retire soon, one wrong decision could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Most people think retirement is about saving enough money, but the biggest mistakes happen right before you actually stop working. What if you retire too early? What if your money runs out? What if inflation destroys your savings? Most people don't realize that the final years of your career are the most dangerous for your financial future. In this video, you'll learn the critical moves to make before retiring so you don't regret it later. We are going to break down the specific traps that catch even the most diligent savers. If you want to protect your future, you need to pay attention to these warnings right now. You have worked for decades. You have spent your life saving slowly, hoping that one day retirement would be a safe harbor for you and your family. You did everything right. You contributed to your accounts. You avoided unnecessary debt, and you kept your head down. But the landscape of retirement has changed fundamentally in the last few years. Rising costs are eating into fixed incomes. Longer lifespans mean your money has to stretch further than ever before, and market uncertainty has made traditional advice obsolete. The world your parents retired into no longer exists. Today, retirement planning requires a different level of precision, and the biggest retirement mistake of all happens in the last 5 years before you actually retire. This period is what experts call the retirement danger zone. Retirement isn't a date on a calendar, it's a high-stakes transition that begins years before your final day at work. The ages of 55 to 65 are critical because any financial mistake made during this window is amplified 10 times over. This is the danger zone for financial mistakes because you no longer have the luxury of time to recover from a market downturn. We have to talk about sequence of returns risk. If the market drops right as you stop working, it can permanently reduce the life expectancy of your portfolio. Early withdrawals or bad timing during these years can trigger a domino effect of loss. But the biggest risk isn't even the stock market. It's a specific decision most retirees make without fully understanding the consequences. Mistake number one is simply retiring too early. Many people underestimate their own lifespan. With advances in healthcare, living into your 80s or 90s is the new normal. If you retire at 60, your money has to last 30 or even 40 years. That is a massive amount of time for inflation to erode your purchasing power. Furthermore, retiring early often means higher healthcare costs because you aren't yet eligible for certain government programs. Many people also take their Social Security benefits as soon as possible, which permanently lowers their monthly check. When you retire too early, you lose the most productive earning years of your life and increase the number of years you must live off your savings. Retirement could last longer than your actual career did, but even people with $1 million make this next mistake. Mistake number two is having no withdrawal strategy. Most retirees spend 40 years focusing on how to save, but they spend zero time learning how to withdraw. This is the difference between climbing a mountain and coming back down. Most accidents happen on the way down. You might have heard of the 4% rule, but that basic guideline doesn't account for the volatility of the modern economy. You need a strategy for sustainable withdrawals that adapts to the market. If you spend too fast in the early years, you risk running out of money while you are still healthy. If you spend too cautiously, you might miss out on the lifestyle you work so hard to achieve. Running out of money is a mathematical reality for those who guess instead of plan, but the biggest expense in retirement surprises almost everyone. Mistake number three is ignoring healthcare costs. Healthcare is often the largest single expense a retiree will face, and it is the one most likely to destroy a retirement plan. Many people assume Medicare covers everything, but the gaps are massive. Long-term care, dental, vision, and high-end prescription costs can quickly add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. If you don't have a plan for how to pay for a stay in a nursing home or home care assistance, one health crisis can liquidate your entire life savings in a matter of months. You cannot afford to treat healthcare as an afterthought. It is a core pillar of your financial survival. But there is one decision you can make right now that can increase your retirement income by 30% or more. That smart move is to delay your Social Security benefits. While you can technically start taking benefits at age 62, doing so comes with a heavy price. Your monthly check increases for every year you wait until age 70. This is a guaranteed inflation-adjusted return that you cannot find anywhere else in the financial world. For many, waiting until age 67 or 70 provides a much higher level of guaranteed income for the rest of their lives. It creates a safety net that protects you if your other investments underperform. Think of it as an insurance policy against living too long. The monthly income difference between starting at age 62 and age 70 is staggering. But income alone isn't enough to feel secure. You also need a specific kind of cash flow. Flow. Smart move number 2 is building reliable retirement income. Retirement success is not about your total net worth. It is about your monthly cash flow. You cannot pay for your electricity bill with a high net worth if that wealth is tied up in assets that you can't sell or that are currently losing value. You need to transition your focus toward building streams of income that arrive every month, regardless of what the stock market is doing. This might include dividends from stable companies, interest from bonds, rental income from real estate, or traditional pensions. Monthly income creates a psychological sense of security that allows you to enjoy your retirement without checking the stock ticker every morning. Stability is the true luxury in your golden years, and this next step might be the most important one. Smart move number 3 is reducing your risk gradually. As you enter the retirement danger zone, you must shift your mindset from growth to preservation. You spent 30 years trying to get rich. Now you must spend the next 30 years staying rich. This means adjusting your asset allocation. You should not have the same investment profile at 60 that you had at 30. You need to build a cash bucket or a reserve of safe assets that can fund your life for 2 or 3 years if the market crashes. This prevents you from being forced to sell your stocks at the bottom of a cycle. Protecting what you have built is far more important than chasing a few extra percentage points of growth. A big loss right before retirement is much harder to recover from than a missed opportunity. Now it is time for a retirement reality check. If you want to know if you are truly ready, you need to answer these questions honestly. Do you know exactly how much you spend every single month, including the hidden costs like taxes and home maintenance? Do you know exactly where every dollar of your retirement income will come from? Do you have a written withdrawal plan that tells you which account to tap first? Do you have a specific plan for healthcare and long-term care? Do you have a backup plan in case the economy enters a prolonged recession? If you can answer yes to most of these, you are already ahead of 90% of future retirees. If you can't, then you still have work to do before you hand in your notice. The biggest retirement secret isn't a complex financial product or a secret stock tip. It is the realization that retirement success isn't about having the most money, it's about avoiding the biggest mistakes. You don't need to be a financial genius to have a great retirement, but you do need to be disciplined. Consistency beats perfection every single time. Planning beats guessing. The small decisions you make today, whether you are 55, 60, or even younger, will define the quality of the next 3 decades of your life. It is about creating a life where you never have to worry about the mailbox because you know your future is already paid for. This process is about peace of mind and the freedom to finally live on your own terms. Don't retire blindly and hope for the best. Take the time now to plan your withdrawals, control your risks, and protect your guaranteed income. If retirement is less than 10 years away, this is the most important time to prepare your strategy. You have worked too hard for too long to let a few simple mistakes ruin your future. Ensure your retirement planning is robust and ready for anything. Watch our next video to avoid the biggest retirement mistakes most people never see coming and learn how to secure your financial legacy once and for all. Your future self will thank you for the work you do today.